Respected elders and dear friends, good evening and welcome to the second day of the 3 days workshop being organized by Heartfulness Education Trust, which is titled Discover the Peace Within. I'm Chavi Sisodia, who have been practicing heartfulness meditation since past 34 plus years and have been a trainer since 19 plus years. I'm also an alumna of IIT Roorkee, and I used to meditate while I was a student. That is why it is very dear to my heart, and I would like to share what I gained through these practices. So, moving on, I would like to give a brief introduction of what Heartfulness Institute is. It's a non-profit organization which is operational in more than 160 countries worldwide. We have around 5,000 centers supported by 13,000 plus meditation trainers who are volunteers, and we offer meditation practices free of charge, free of any cost, to one and all, for the benefit of the society. Yesterday, we dealt with the topic on healthy lifestyle by Dr. Veronique, where she took us through various topics like food, water, exercise, dealing with the body, how to keep our body healthy, and then culminating on relaxation and meditation to bring us to a different state, to a calm and peaceful state. Today, we'll be dealing with the mind, we'll be dealing with the feelings and emotions which change the state of our being every moment and how it affects our outside world, and what can we do to eliminate the bottlenecks that we can say which lead us to peace. So, to eliminate things which are barring us from the peace and love within will be dealt with today by a very important step, very important limb of heartfulness practice, which is cleaning. We have also many detox techniques which will be shared later on. And not taking much of your time, I would like to go straight to the speaker of today, who is also an IITian, and I think he is one of the best that we have. Let me introduce you to Mr. Prashanth Vasu, who has been a practitioner of heartfulness for the last 24 years and a trainer for last 7.5 years. In his professional life, he currently serves as a partner with McKinsey Company at Chennai, where he has worked across many industries with a particular interest in organization transformation and leadership development. Before McKinsey, Prashanth worked in an engineering startup of the Sanmar Group in Chennai. He has an MBA from the Indian School of Business, where he was part of the founding batch, an MS in Industrial Engineering from Texas A&M University, and a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Madras. His other interests include classical music, tennis, and reading. He's married and lives with his family in Chennai. As part of his work with the Heartfulness Institute, he conducts programs in several corporates in universities, including IIT Madras and Great Lakes Institute and other campuses. So over to you, Mr. Prashanth, to deal with the topic of today, which is eliminating interferences.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chavi, and respected elders, students, faculty, and everybody. It's an absolute delight and a privilege to be with all of you. Like Chavi mentioned, while I'm an alum of IIT Madras, I have been to Roorkee on a visit to the city. We have a Heartfulness Meditation Center there, and I was there for the inauguration of that facility many years back. But I haven't had the joy of being to the IIT Roorkee campus. I wish to be there someday. In fact, during my studying, the days when I wrote the JEE exam in 1990, at that time Roorkee was a separate university, and the exam to get into Roorkee was known to be tougher than the exam to get into IIT's, the JEE entrance exam. So we all hold, from our generation, we all hold the Roorkee campus and everything associated with Roorkee in great regard. So it's a great privilege to be with all of you. Thank you for the opportunity to be with all of you. We are going to make this session experiential, very little talking, just some concepts and some sort of equation for interference that Chavi spoke about as the topic for the day. We'll have some equation because we are dealing with an IIT campus. So without an equation, how can we proceed? But it will largely be experiential. I know some of you are on Zoom and then some of you are on YouTube, I understand. Some of you are probably attending the session for the first time today, and some might be attending for the second time after attending yesterday. So the first thing is, while we can't have a full interaction that I would have liked to have, like we often do in our programs at IIT Madras and so forth, I would love to get to know you a little bit at least. And the first thing I'd like to know, if you can go to your chat box and say number one, if today is the first time you're attending the session, and number two, if today is the second session you're attending, so that we just get a sense of who is in the audience in terms of, okay. So all twos so far. Two, Captain Ronak, wonderful. Two, Chandrasekhar, two. First time, second session. What is that, Rajesh mean? Is it one or is it two? You're now puzzled me. Okay. Anybody else? Is that? So Chavi, can we see the responses of everybody or only those on Zoom?
Only those on Zoom.
Only those on Zoom, is it? Okay. So let's say that largely it's the second. Most of you are attending for the second time, which is good to know. But I'm sure there are some people at least who are attending for the first time. The second question I wanted to ask you is, can you go to your chat box again, and those of you who are not on Zoom, just think about it and write it down for yourself. One word to describe how you're feeling right now. Chavi used the word feelings, emotions, etc. So let's pick up there. One word to describe how you are feeling right now. What you are feeling, not how. How means you can say good, bad, and so forth. We want to know what you're exactly feeling. Good. So two people are calm, one person is stressed. Good. Excited, nice. What are the words, Avi? Tired. Someone has exercised, which is very good. Want to learn is something new, so somebody is in anticipation. Somebody is impatient and eager. Okay, they've sent that message to me privately. Okay, curious to know about the organization. That's a separate session, Rajesh. You learn about the practice, the organization. We like to first offer our practice. Like when you go to a restaurant, you don't want to know about the restaurant, you want to eat the food. So we like to offer our practice first. Any other words? Calm, excited, curious, stressed, tired. I hope this represents what the food. Stressed. Somebody is so stressed, they said streed. Okay. I would suppose that means stressed. Oh, also about the heartfulness. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Good. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take up the topic of what is called cleaning or rejuvenation. This is a core technique for us to de-stress ourselves, to emotionally detox ourselves. During our student days and student lives, and even during at other times, we often feel different sources of stress. And the idea is, how can we actually eliminate them, eliminate these interferences? I'm going to do this by quickly inviting you to imagine a couple of scenarios from your own life. And those who are not on Zoom and on YouTube, please participate in this process even mentally, because all of us, there'll be some common learnings from that. Think of a time. So the first exercise, we'll do two exercises. Think of a time in your life when you were performing at your best. You were totally in the zone, and you thoroughly enjoyed, and you were really, really at your best. Okay? It could have been an exam. It could have been, something in business. It doesn't matter, whatever field of life. But imagine a time when it could have been in sport. Um, so imagine a time when you were at your very best, and think about how did it feel when you were performing at your best. What did it feel like when you were performing at your best? What did you feel? And we'd like, once you've thought about it, take 30 seconds. Those who are in the Zoom, if you can put it up in the chat box. What did you feel when you were performing at your best? So take 30 seconds to think about this. Think of the instance and think about the feeling. You can start putting it on the chat box. What did it really feel like when you were performing at your best? Satisfied and confident, satisfied, very happy, wonderful comment. You were happy when you were performing. You felt fulfilled, and you also slept better at night. You felt focused, exactly. When you were performing at your best, you were focused, you were joyful and happy, you were exactly. You were happy, you were excited, you felt fulfilled, satisfied. Exactly. So when we are performing at our best, we feel also at our best, right? When we are performing at our best, we feel at best, right? Satisfied, happy, fulfilled. It doesn't matter whether we win or lose, or we finally get victory. But when we are at that time performing to our best ability, we feel focused, we feel satisfied, feel happy. Absolutely right. They say that this is what we call an expansive feeling. Okay, expansive feeling. Now let us ask the other question. Think of a time when you might have prepared very well, but you were somehow not able to perform to your satisfaction. You were not able to perform to your satisfaction. I can say that I used to play competitive tennis during my IIT days, and before that, there were occasions when I just wasn't able to perform to my best. And what I'd like you to think about is what came in the way of your performing at your very best? What came in the way of your performing at your very best? take 30 seconds to think about that, and then you can put it in the chat box. Okay, when you're ready, you can start pasting. What came in the way of your performing at your best? Those who are on Zoom, feel free, like Anita and Kanta and so forth. You can even unmute and say a couple of words. What came in the way of your performing at your best? Feel free to talk about it. Go ahead. Are you all still there? Chavi, are you able to hear me?
Yes. Prashanth, you're muted.
Okay, I think I got cut off for a minute. Yeah. What came in the way of performing at your best? I'm looking at messages in the chat box. Those who want to actually say something can also unmute and say something. Okay, you felt confused. Yes, you were feeling a bit low and underconfident. Yes, what else? What are the other feelings? I think I got cut off. So if you can put back, some of you might have responded earlier. Just put it back in the chat box. What came in the way?
Anxiety, fear.
Anxiety, fear. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I used to feel a lot of anxiety when I used to play competitive tennis. Each time I won a match, I used to feel more fear before the next match. You know, that oops, everybody will be expecting me to win, right? Don't we all feel that way, especially IITians, high performing students? We feel pressure that oops, everybody is watching us, isn't it? We have to perform at our too many expectations, says Dharna. Absolutely. Dharna, can you say something about that? Can you unmute and say, what do you mean too many expectations? Who is creating the expectations?
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
So too many expectations from myself, from my family, from the people I'm working with. So
Yes.
all kinds of get around and, just indulge you in all those negative thoughts sometimes that I might not be able to match
Ah.
up to the expectations. So yeah.
Correct, correct. And that becomes inhibits our ability to perform at our best. Yes. Circumstances, other responsibilities. Yes. What does that mean, Rajesh? For example?
Yeah, actually, see, I mean, there are different types of, kind of assignments given, Out of
Yes.
those, some are very important because, that will help you to, kind of go further. But, there are some other responsibilities given, like, while you work actually in institute, So
Hmm.
sometimes, like, kind of you feel that, okay, I mean, I would have, kind of focused on one, but, I have to really, kind of do my job and duties for remaining 8 assignments. So that's how, kind of, I
Okay.
mean, like, everything is important, but sometimes kind of something is more important. So it is sometimes become difficult to decide that how to go ahead.
So you're competing priorities and it creates a distraction. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, exactly.
Got it.
That's what.
Excellent. Excellent. So you see the distraction. Whereas when we were performing at our best, we felt focused. When we are performing at less than our best, we feel distracted. When we are at our best, we feel confident. When we are not at our best, we feel fearful. Right? When we are at our best, are we worried as much about the result? We are in the present moment. Whereas when we are not in the present moment and worried about expectations, so these feelings, when we are not at our best, they are called contracted feelings. We are in a state of contraction. They interfere with our ability to be at our best. And there is a very interesting story of what I'll share a story from sport. And because I'm fond of tennis, it's from the world of tennis. There was a coach in Harvard in the 1970s called Timothy Galway. He was the coach of the Harvard University. And what he did is he actually studied players, his team and players, and tried to understand, when do my players perform at their best? When are they actually less than their best? What is driving all of this? And he came up with this very interesting idea and an equation that he called the inner game of tennis. That was the idea. And it's applicable not only to tennis, it's applicable to golf, to other sports, to life itself. Okay? And the big idea in the inner game of tennis, he said, is that more than the external opponent whom we are playing in sport, the bigger game that we are playing is between us and our own selves. It's not the outside opponent who's as intimidating and formidable. It's not the outside game that matters, but the inner game that we play with ourselves that matters. And he said that this inner game is played between two parts of ourself, self one and self two. And he said self two is that part of us that learns and performs naturally. It doesn't need a lot of input. It doesn't need a lot of, training and coaching. It's a very natural part of ourselves. It's like how we were when we were children. We pick up languages so naturally, isn't it? We don't need to be taught every little thing. We pick up grammar and how to construct sentences just by kind of imbibing it from the atmosphere and people around us. He said that is the nature of self too. It's a very natural part of us. However, there is this part of us called self one, the troublemaker, that goes on giving us all these thoughts. Oh, you're not so good. Everybody is expecting something from you. You better win. Oh, you lousy tennis player. What kind of a shot did you hit? All these interferences, judgments that it imposes on self too. And that prevents self too from being at its natural best. So he came up with this wonderful equation and he called it the following. That equation, the formula goes like this. Can you hear me still? Chavi, are you all able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. And the formula goes like this. Formula is perform. Okay. Can you hear me again?
Yes. Now
Okay.
your voice was breaking earlier. Now it's back.
So did you hear me up to the formula?
Not the formula, but up till then.
Okay. So Timothy Galway came up with this beautiful, simple formula, which is very useful in an IIT setting. He called that performance is equal to potential minus interference. Performance is equal to potential minus interference, which means that we perform at our best when we are able to connect to self two, which is our full potential, and we are able to eliminate the interferences that self one puts in at us. Our fears, our expectations, our anxieties. So when we make self one, two operate at full potential, it's our potential, and we make self one's interferences zero, we can perform at our potential. This was a simple equation that Timothy Galway actually offered. A very wonderful, and that became the basis of how he started coaching people in tennis. He started coaching people very differently. He stopped telling people this is right, this is wrong, etc. but instead allow them to observe and learn by themselves. Observe themselves and learn. And by that process, the interferences slowly started reducing. Now the question is, how do we actually connect to our state of full potential, and how do we eliminate these interferences? Because it is not that we want to get afraid. Nobody wants to get afraid. It just happens. We just feel afraid. The wisdom of yoga says that these fears are there in us, inside us. They are there in us in the subconscious mind. So just by saying, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, it's not enough. We are going to need practices to clear away those interferences. And that is what this practice of cleaning does for us, or rejuvenation that we are going to do today. This practice of cleaning eliminates all these emotional interferences that come into our life and allow us to perform at our best. If we get upset during the day, we can clear away the emotional weight of getting that upset. If we are prone to fear, we can clear away our inclination to get afraid. That is really what this practice of cleaning can do for us. It's particularly valuable for students and for all of us, lots more for students as well, because the pressures of student life can be quite demanding. So with this background, we are going to do two practices today. We are number one going to do the practice of cleaning. I'll explain it to you now and then we'll start. And number two, we are going to do the meditation. Okay? Like we did yesterday. So how do we do the practice of cleaning? Can you still hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, good. So how do we do the practice of cleaning? It is a three-step process. We sit comfortably like we sit in meditation. Step number one, we start with a positive suggestion that we are already clean at the end of the process. It's just a positive suggestion. Step number two, we make a gentle suggestion that all impurities and complexities are leaving my system from the back, that is the top of the head to the tailbone. All impurities and complexities are leaving my system from the back in the form of smoke or vapor, and we apply our will behind this process as if we are pushing all these impurities and complexities away. Okay, so we make a suggestion that all impurities and complexities are leaving my system from the back in the form of smoke or vapor, and apply our will behind the process. That is step number two, and slowly we start accelerating this process. Okay. Step number three, when we feel a bit lighter, we make a suggestion that a sacred current of purity and simplicity is entering our system from the front. It is clearing away all these impurities and complexities, and in its place filling the entire system with purity and simplicity. So this is what the practice of cleaning or rejuvenation is. We will do this for about 10 minutes. I'll walk you through, I'll guide you through that process. After that, we will meditate for 15 minutes or so. For those of you who were not able to attend yesterday, just to recap, how do we meditate? Meditation is a very simple process. In Heartfulness, we sit comfortably, close our eyes, and when I say, please start meditation, you make a gentle suggestion that there is a source of light in the heart, already present, that is drawing your attention inwards. And you simply rest your mind in the heart, as if you're turning on a television and watching it. Okay? That's all you need to do. And when I say that's all, you can open your eyes. Okay? Now, please note that do this process without any strain. Don't try to force yourself or try to see any light. And thoughts will arise. Please note that thoughts will arise. The nature of the mind is to think. But these thoughts are not coming They are leaving us, they are going, they are leaving. Just like when we sweep a floor, dust will come. But after that process, the floor is clean. The same way, once these thoughts leave us, we will feel clear and simple. So please don't resist the thoughts or try to push them away. Simply ignore them. Simply ignore them and let them go. Don't bother about them. Instead, turn your attention gently to the heart and just sit calmly, chill, as they say, relax. And at the end of the process, I'll say, that's all. You can open your eyes. Okay? So it's a two-step process, a bit of cleaning and a bit of meditation. I'll guide you through that process. And if you're all ready, we are ready to start. Are we all ready? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are very clear, Prashanth.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's, I request you all to kindly keep your mobile phones, everything away. Treat this time as time for yourself. It's a time you're investing into yourself. And let's all get into this meditative state. So please sit comfortably. You can put your screen on mute so that there is no disturbance. So please sit comfortably, close your eyes, make your breath normal. Take a few deep breaths to settle in. Inhale relaxation, exhale all the tension. We'll start with the practice of cleaning. Please start with a positive suggestion that you're already clean at the end of the process. Now, please suggest that all impurities and complexities are leaving your system and apply your will behind this thought. The impurities and complexities are leaving your system from the back, that is the top of the head to the tailbone. The impurities and complexities are leaving your system from the back in the form of smoke or vapor. You can slowly start accelerating the process. As you feel lighter, please suggest that a sacred current of purity and simplicity is entering your system from the front and clearing away all the impurities and complexities. When impurities leave, purity sets in. When complexities leave, simplicity sets in. The sacred current is and the entire system is now pure and simple. The sacred current is filling the entire system, and the entire system is now pure and simple. We'll now go to meditation. Please make a gentle suggestion that there is a source of light in the heart already present that is drawing your attention inwards. Rest your mind in the heart. Be unmindful of any thoughts that may arise. They are all arising to leave. Totally relax. And please start meditation. That's all. Please keep your eyes closed for another 30 seconds. Observe how you're feeling. And when you are ready, you can please open your eyes. If you have a diary, please make a note of how you're feeling now. Or those of you who can access the chat box, please feel free to go to the chat box and mention how you're feeling now after the meditation. Wonderful. Let's see what we have in the chat box. Calm, relaxed, and light, detoxed. Wonderful. Light, relaxed, peaceful. It seems like hours. Yes, Aparna. It feels like hours of relaxation. Peaceful and relaxing. Anger drained out. That's a nice comment. Sneha, do you want to say anything about that? You feel like in the beginning you felt you had a bit of anger and it's all gone now?
Hello, sir. Is it audible?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So something happened that one of the students got tested positive, and even though he was in a bad condition, he didn't go to the doctor directly. Instead, he was taken back to his house. So
Yes.
he traveled in the rickshaw. He traveled in a bus. So how irresponsible it was to pass that. We know what is the condition of COVID now. Still, they did such a stupid thing. And I was like wondering, how can people do such a thing? So I was like really frustrated that people who are really having a qualification of PhD are doing such a stupid thing.
Okay. How do you feel after the meditation?
Uh, so such things, these are not in our control. So, so that anger, if I keep it, it will only spoil my mood. So somehow when I was thinking that it is draining out of me, I feel more relaxed.
Good. Wonderful. Excellent. Aparna, you want to say anything? A few minutes of relaxation feels like hours.
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes. There's a lot of
Sir,
disturbance. There's a lot of disturbance, Aparna.
hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Actually, the entire day was a hectic day, but few minutes of this kind of, actually, I joined late. I thought I might have missed this moment, but actually, I joined at the right time when this session was going on. And
Hmm.
when you just said stop and then it was completed, I felt like and it might have gone up to an hour or so. I realized no, it was a few minutes only, and I thought like I have had a good hours of relaxation after the entire day. So it felt really
Wonderful.
good. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Very happy to hear. Very happy to hear. This is a very important observation that Aparna has had. Remember that meditation returns time. We feel as students, how will we find the time to do these practices? But when we meditate, when we clean and when we meditate, we get back time, because the time that is otherwise spent in worry and frustration and anger and other things, all that goes. We're able to finish our work much quicker than we normally would. So we come to the end of today's session, and if the clock strikes 7:15, I know that's the closing time. So we come to the end of today's session. I'm going to hand back to Chavi. Congratulations, all of you who joined. It's remarkable that you're taking this interest in yourself. This practice is for ourselves. So, Chavi, over to you back to talk about tomorrow. And
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prashanth. So now we know the secret behind his success, the pure and soft heart and a steady, focused mind, which we all can achieve through these practices that we are doing. Tomorrow is the final session in which we'll be taking it deeper, connecting within ourselves, and experiencing the different kind of meditation with the right attitude. Before we end this session, I would like to thank the director of IIT Roorkee, Professor Ajit Chaturvedi ji, DOSW, Professor M.K. Barua, ADOSW, Professor Kiran, and also from IIT Jammu, Dean Students Welfare D.K. Pandya, and Associate Dean Dr. Vijay Kumar Pal. From IIT Jodhpur, Dean Academics Dr. P. Apte. They have made it possible for all of us to share this time and space for our benefit. And I would like you all to invite all other friends whom you think would like to join tomorrow. It's not like they have not joined yesterday or today. They can join any day and we'll take it forward with them. Thank you all for your active participation. I hope you enjoyed the session and we'll take it further tomorrow. Thank you. Namaste.